Hi, in this video, I'm gonna talk about character development guide. There are three important elements in writing your story: the plot, theme, and characters. But we dare say that although these three are all important, character is the most important among them all. The character is the carrier of the story. The characters affect the plot and the theme, and it's the characters that translate the action and reaction. They tell the story. What happened, how it happened, why it happened, what's next, and etc. It's all about the characters. For our first topic, we have character profiling. In profiling your characters, it's important to make a character questionnaire. A character questionnaire is a way for authors to dig deeper into your characters by having and answering a set of questions. The writer can have a detailed picture of their personality and history where they can expound the story even more. Character profile is the name, role in the story, physical description. Make their physical description reflect on their personality or related to their character. For example, he has a scar on his face from his first battle. In that way, even their physical descriptions can be a factor to your story. Next is age and their personality type. For the questionnaire, you can ask what are their fears, misconception, happiness, sadness, reason to keep on fighting, what or who they love, the things they always hold on to, their favorites like books, movies, bands, and etc., their fashion or style, their nicknames, how they react and handle different situations, and lastly, how they keep their peace. Next, we have character description. Remember to find the balance in describing your characters. Over describing your characters may seem dragging to some readers, and it can limit their own imagination of the characters. Under describing your characters, on the other hand, may be boring, and your readers won't have some sort of a guide about what and who the character truly is. There are two types of descriptions. First, how the protagonist describes the other characters from their point of view. Second is how the protagonist describe themselves. For the first one, how the protagonist described the other characters from their point of view, he can include the physical features, build and height, skin tone, hair color and hairstyle, distinguishing factors such as scars and tattoos, style or fashion, voice or accent, posture, scents, and gestures. For the next one, how the protagonist describe themselves, one of the best tips in making the characters describe themselves is to insert the descriptions as they go about their day or their life. For example, I tied my hair. My brown bag matches my eyes. Or I have to wear belts to fit my jeans. In that way, the descriptions do not come all at once, and the protagonist does not have to literally iterate what they think about themselves. It also relates their description to what their characters are doing, which makes it more natural. You can also have another character describe the protagonist in dialogue. For example, I wish I was as tall as you, or this shade of makeup suits your fair skin. Or have a dual point of view and let two characters describe each other. This can help the audience see different characters from the perspective of another character. Next topic, we have conflicted characters. You can use different personality types to first categorize your characters to their personalities. An example of it would be the Enneagram personality types with 9 different personalities. We got these tips and a lot more from Abby Emmons, an author, YouTuber who gives very helpful tips and advice such as these. For the Enneagram personality types, we have first the reformer, rational idealistic type, principled, purposeful, self-controlled, and perfectionistic. Second is the helper, the caring interpersonal type, generous, demonstrative, people-pleasing, and possessive. Third is the achiever, the success-oriented pragmatic type, adaptable, excelling, driven, and image-conscious. Fourth is the individualist, the sensitive, introspective type. expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, and temperamental. Fifth is the investigator, the intense, cerebral type. Perceptive, innovative, secretive, and isolated. Sixth is the loyalist, the committed, security-oriented type. Engaging, responsible, anxious, and suspicious. Seventh is the enthusiast, the busy, variety-seeking type. Spontaneous, versatile, acquisitive, and scattered. Eighth is the challenger, the powerful, dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational. Ninth is the peacemaker, the easygoing type, receptive, reassuring, agreeable, and complacent. After categorizing their personality, you can go back to the character questionnaire that you made and reverse engineer the truth of the theme to make it the protagonist's misconception in their world. For example, the truth is you are enough and you are confident, but their misconception is you're not appreciated and you should be insecure. Once done, you can now relate the character's truth and misbelief to the personality type where they belong. Next topic, we have character voice. Character voice is the way the character expresses themselves both outwardly and inwardly. The character's voice can be shown through their personality, thoughts, and tone. There are 7 techniques in making a character voice. First is learn your character's personality type. Second is make your character's opposite. Third is assign certain phrases to each character to avoid repetition of words and phrases. Assign certain types of phrases to your characters depending on their personality and story. Fourth is learn their form of manipulation, such as guilt-tripping, tantrums, blackmailing, and etc. Fifth is use metaphors that the characters would actually use. Compare an emotion or situation of your character into something. Sixth is what your character does all day affects how they see the world. Seventh is create your character's lenses and categorize it to their desire, fear, or misconception. Tip is use different fonts for different characters' point of view. Next topic, we have character conflict. There are 2 types of character conflicts: the external conflict, what happens, and internal conflict, why it matters. External conflict would allow you to see the effect of things, but with internal conflict, you'd be able to know its causes. Guide questions for the conflicts. First, how is the character unhappy with their current situation? 2 is what do they think would make them truly happy? This would be their response to their unhappiness in question number 1. Most likely, this solution to their unhappiness is also wrong because this is solely based on the external factor of the conflict. Because in reality, people don't really go to the roots of their problems or unhappiness immediately, and that is because we want to solve things as quickly as possible and make everything seem okay on the surface, even when it's not. Third is what are the things that they can do to turn their dreams into reality. Fourth is how has their fear held them back from doing their projected solutions. Fifth is what would it take for them to finally pursue what they want. And sixth is what led them into thinking they could do it. How did it feel to reach after their goals while still avoiding their inner fears? Our next topic is backstory. Your character's backstory is important because it has formed them into the person that they are, the person we meet on page 1. Yes, even before the story started, you should already know what their story is, who they are before page 1, what they were, and what events or happenings led to their desires, fears, and misconceptions. This information is from their past, before page 1, before the story even started. How you can insert or translate this into the story without info dumping is totally up to you. Write in flashbacks or write in linear time. When it comes to weaving backstory into your novel, you'll have to get creative. But there is no right or wrong way. Your goal is to captivate the reader with an emotional, genuine connection. How you create the backstory is entirely up to you. After learning and explaining your character's desires, beliefs, and misconceptions, you may want your readers to know where these are coming from. Why does the character have this desire? What caused their fear and misconception? Or even in understanding why a certain character became a villain? All of these can be answered in your character's backstory. Just like humans in real life, our beliefs and even actions towards the things that are happening around us, they all come from somewhere. With that, it gives us a sense of peace and understanding within ourselves and the people around us. For the backstory guide questions, first, we have in the early years of their life or before the story even took place, what are the things that the character believed were true? Find their own truth, the things they believed in, and what they hold on to. Second, how did the character struggle to keep that belief? When the character realized that what they believed in wasn't true at all, they wouldn't easily accept it. So in this part, you can illustrate how hard it was for them, how they resisted or struggled. Third, how would they round everything up and what would be their new belief? After facing that what they originally believed in wasn't true at all, they would struggle and try to keep everything together. However, eventually, even if it's hard, they would have to accept it and make new beliefs based on all those experiences. We can use that in this part, how they closed everything in their past and how they started to believe in something new again. Take these questions and use it to dig deeper into your character's feelings and emotions. Go to their past, their vulnerabilities, their environment, and you can encompass their backstory from there. Our next topic is breaking your character. In order to make your readers fall in love with your story and its characters, there must be some emotional trials that comes with it. We all want to write a character who is emotionally strong. First, character went through a traumatizing experience. For example, after months of training and years of hard work, the character who is a runner got into an accident a week before the international competition. That would just really break your character. Second, the character faces their deepest fears. There's nothing more heartbreaking and scary than being forced to face your deepest fears and the worst consequences occurs. You must first build the character's fear and let the reader truly experience the character's desire to avoid that fear and agony, so that when the worst case scenario occurs, you are setting everything up to break your character and the reader as well. Third, character becomes what they hate. To really mess up your character, you have to show how they become what they said they never would. After everything they've been through, all the struggles and challenges they've had, they just end up becoming what they truly hate. You may connect the dots on how your character's terrible decisions in response to their obstacles leads them to a situation where they become everything that they hate. Our next topic is side characters. There are 4 things that every side character must have in order to be powerful to your story and interesting to your readers. First, have an agenda. A side character does not appear in the story because the storyline requires it. They appear because they are needed to do so. All side characters must have an agenda. Second, have an impact. How the side character affects the story and your main character, their contribution while the story escalates, and how their presence in the story influences the main character and or the totality of the story. Third, have a theme. Side characters can give an extra layer of theme to your story, which we all know is a powerful lesson learned by the main character and conveyed to the reader. Not every side character has to fulfill this, but those with a lot of screen time do. Fourth, in the end, all side characters must have a deciding vote. If your side character does not have any say in how the story ends, your side character isn't strong enough and your readers will think they are pointless. Give your side characters a voice and a part of how the story ends. Otherwise, your side character will not be as relevant and not have as much bearing to the readers. Not all side characters need this, but make sure that those who have a lot of screen time do. The side characters should not just fade into the background or steal the spotlight, but they should bring extra layers of quality to your story. Our next topic is strong female character. We typically see man saves girl or Prince Charming rescues the damsel in distress. But a strong female character can also fix stuff, beat people up, fight back, and even save or rescue a guy. You could create female characters who are both strong and kind, as well as ones who are both lovable and fierce. There are 6 ways to make your strong female character even stronger. First, show her weakness. Even the strongest hero feel weak sometimes. Just because she's strong does not mean she doesn't have imperfections and defeats. Second, let her have a normal life. Most of the time, the strong female character stereotype is that she acts like a guy, and that's all it takes to be powerful. However, the young lady enjoys wearing pink clothes, painting her nails, wearing skirts, and high heels, can just be as strong as anyone. Third, allow her to learn from a man. Allow your powerful female character to learn anything from a male character without compromising her femininity. Fourth, show her strength even when unnoticed. A strong female character quietly faces her own challenges and handles her grief with grace and kindness, despite the fact that it is difficult to endure. Fifth, show her courage as a woman. A strong female character meets every challenge with strength and courage. Sixth is allow her to fail. A strong woman is still human, and as a human, failures and rejections are inevitable. Our next topic is about villains. The villain thinks he's the hero of his own story because, like the protagonist, he has a mission and he'll do whatever it takes to turn his desire into reality because he doesn't see that what he's doing is wrong. He's become so twisted and messed up that he actually thinks that what he's doing is right and he can't see anything wrong with it. Remember, never praise your villain, and this is the most common mistake that writers make. This isn't to say that your villain can't be redeemed but because he can, but his evil ways cannot be justified. Assess what the villain believes will make them happy and how their fears stop them from pursuing it, as well as the villain's backstory to see where that fear originated. List their fears, goals, and plans. Their motive is caused by their fear and goal, and their plot is created by the villain's goal and plan. In order to create an effective character who your readers will love and hate at the same time, ask yourself these questions. What is their greatest fear? What happened in their past that might have caused this? What do you think will bring them true happiness and contentment? What decisive action is your villain going to take to make their desire a reality while steering clear of the things that they are afraid of? Our last topic is about anti-hero. When writing an anti-hero, keep in mind that they are neither the hero nor the villain. They will essentially take the role of the main character in the story, but they're not necessarily the villain. First, highlight inner conflict. Just like your other main characters, you should also determine your anti-hero's desires, fears, and misconceptions. Give your anti-hero a convincing reason to be evil. You must know why your anti-hero acts the way that he does. Allow your anti-hero to be his own worst enemy. Your anti-hero's best and most powerful enemy is himself. The one thing your anti-hero cares about is saving himself. Every time he believes he's getting closer to what will make him happy, he ends up being far from actually being happy. Create an anti-hero's character arc. Anti-hero begins with a great deal of internal struggle as a result of his fear and misconception, which were spurred by past events and are now deeply embedded in his mind and everything that he does. Again, just like your main character, show your anti-hero's journey, how his fears get triggered, how he faces his fears, and how his character develops as the story progresses. Thank you so much, and we hope the guide helps you.